The NHL's virtual draft is quickly approaching on October 6th. Craig Button joins us for a closer look at the Vancouver Canucks as we wrap up our draft primers for all 7 Canadian teams. Craig, the Canucks, they don't own a first or a second round pick, but before we get to their top 10 prospects list, the cupboard isn't empty. Give us your take on how well they've drafted over the last several years.
The NHL Draft serves as a final exam for that particular draft year. The Vancouver Canucks have aced the test. 4 A's, star quality players, and other players that are going to be really important to the success of the team going forward. Nils Hoglander fits that. The second rounder in 2019. We know about the flash and dash of the lacrosse style goals, but his game is predicated on being really fast, really quick. He's competitive, he's determined, and he can play with skilled players. So he adds elements to their team that are going to be important for their success going forward. As for their top 10 prospects, an A-. We talked about Hoglander, but now Vasily Pot Coulson, their first rounder from 2019. He's not going to put up gaudy offensive numbers, but make no mistake about it, he's going to be a real key player in terms of the style that he plays, that high RPMs approach to playing the game. That's what Vasily adds.
Yeah, since 2014, when Canucks GM Jim Benning arrived on the scene, he has just done a masterful job building and developing this roster. And look no further than the trio of Calder finalists. Yes, Quinn Hughes just finished second on Monday to Cale Makar in the voting for the Rookie of the Year. Besser finished second in 2018, while of course Pettersson, he won it in 2019. So that gives Vancouver a 3-year run of Calder finalists that hasn't been done since the Bruins and Rangers of the late 60s and early 70s. So Craig has mentioned the Canucks, they don't have a first or a second rounder thanks to the trades for JT Miller and Tyler Toffoli. So instead of asking our viewers at home who they think the Canucks should draft, we asked who they think which Canadian team is closest to ending Canada's Stanley Cup drought. And the results are in. Vancouver's your winner with 31% of the vote. Craig, which Canadian team do you feel has the best chance to end the Cup drought?
I agree with the fans, the Vancouver Canucks, because they have the essential players at the critical positions. Number 1 center in Pettersson, the superstar, Horvat, number 1 defenseman in Hughes. They drafted Demko in the second round. He's prepared to assume the number 1 role as the goaltender there. And as we talked about, all the building blocks necessary to compete for a Stanley Cup. They're there for the Canucks.
Yeah, the future is bright in Vancouver. All right, that wraps up our draft primers, but on Wednesday we start a new segment. It's a status report for all 7 Canadian teams, taking a closer look at each roster and looking at which decisions may or may not be needed this offseason. And we'll kick it off Wednesday with the Montreal Canadiens.